What is up? Welcome back to another video. Today I would like to talk about this. This is the Reveni Labs camera tester. As you may know, I've made a video about it. I interviewed Matt from Reveni Labs to talk about it, and it is a great system that I've really enjoyed using. So we're going to talk about it a little bit more in depth. I got my desk a little bit more cleaned off so that way we can actually get into it, but we will first start off with how to put it together. So it is incredibly straightforward to do. I grew up with Lego sets, as I'm sure most people did about my age, and truthfully, I didn't even use the directions to put it together, but fortunately there is information online. He has it on his website that I will link down below. So if you want to purchase one of these and you're like, I don't know how to put it together, all the information you need is fortunately right there to do so. And yeah, for the most part I put it together all right. The only thing I am missing is the glare hood, which I honestly should put in just for the sake of I have lights overhead and stuff, so I'll put that in at some stage, but for the intents and purposes of this video I will leave it off because I feel like that adds a little bit more clarity to the system itself. The glare hood serves as a way to protect the light coming in, affecting the sensor and all that stuff, so you get the most accurate of readings, yada yada, all good stuff. We have this cable here, which is your sensor in cable, your power supply cable, which goes in the side here. It's all labeled, so it's pretty nice to see. Then you also have a PC out switch there, so if you wanted to do a digital readout you can do that. There also is a number of pictures for how to do different setups. If you want to just have like kind of a raw dog setup, they've got options there. If you wanted to do vertical raw dog, they can do that there. Raw dog is my own vernacular. He says no jig on his website. I think raw dog's more fun, but regardless, potato. Stupid. You can also use the, there's a flash connector as well, blah, blah, blah. So let's go over the sensor heads because he offers two. Yes, two. So there's the 35mm sensor, which is this one. It's going to be the standard 35mm head as stated right there. There's also a there's a medium format head, which is called the 6x head because obviously it's 6x6, 6x7, 6x8, 6x9, so on and so forth. You have a number of sensors here, which is going to read the opening and the closing of the shutter and then the time lapsed in between. That's important to get an idea of the totality of the image, what all is going to be in exposure, are the curtains balanced properly, so on and so forth. Let's talk about the interface here because it is painfully straightforward in a way that I really appreciate. Basically, you've got this little button pad setup and you have an on-off switch. So first make sure it's plugged in, then you just flick this up, you see the nice logo, a little bit of a flash there, and then you're good to go. Now you can cycle through the different modes from curtain shutter to leaf shutter to leaf exposure to curtain exposure to reflective to light meter, lens aperture, calibration, and back to curtain shutter. So you can use these two buttons to cycle through those options. These buttons here will be used for going through. Say if you're shooting a horizontal shutter, you leave it there. Vertical, move it over one, back to horizontal. 45mm, or if you're doing 645, 66, 67, 68, 69, 35mm. So for the PC printout, what I'm going to do is just read directly off of the site what he recommends doing. I've not done the PC printout system just yet, but it is something I'm looking forward to trying out. The camera tester can send data to a PC via USB. It does this by emulating a keyboard and works with Mac, PC, or Linux. Computer's keyboard should be set to the normal layout, otherwise some text characters will come through oddly. To use PC printout, turn on the Reveni Labs camera tester without USB connected. Connect the tester to your computer using the included USB cable. Open Microsoft Excel or another spreadsheet program. Place the cursor at cell A1, top left corner. Take a reading with the camera tester in curtain, leaf exposure, or curtain exposure modes. Press and hold the up button for 1 second. Some camera tester setting lines, extra fill-in lines like make, model, data, blah, 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 will be filled in on the screen. This takes a couple of seconds to complete. With each subsequent reading, hold the up button again to add new data to the spreadsheet. Don't move the cursor from the current selected cell. The camera tester will move the selected cell automatically as needed. Exiting the menu will reset the printout, and the extra information column headers will be reprinted again. So that's another really nice addition and really modernizes the system. Turn it on just like that, set to 35mm, all that stuff. We fire it here, advance, go on to 1/2 second, advance, go on to 1/4, 1/8. And what we'll notice here is I've got a little sheet, and you can print one of these out yourself and or just pull it up online. We have the shutter speed tolerances, and what we're noticing is that this is a little bit fast, especially, is that 1/8? 1/8, the lower tolerance is 102, the higher upper tolerance is 154. This is clocking in at 81, which puts it more at around 1/15 range. So that's going to be a stop faster than you probably want it to be. So this could use a little bit loosening up in terms of the curtain. And you can also tell that because on other speeds, such as the 1/1000th, you're not getting any reading at all, meaning the curtains are not opening properly. This happens, and sometimes people don't know what they're doing. Curtains get too tight, they get too loose, what have you. This stuff can occur. Fairly common, unfortunately. The other thing to be aware of is these two numbers here, offsetting from this one here. You want all of these to read out just about right, because if they don't, you'll notice that there's a little calculation that's done here, meaning that the right meter, or the right curtain has a plus 2.35 EV value, meaning that that is going to be brighter. So you're going to have an unbalanced exposure, which is not very good. But for the most part, the M is the middle. That's going to be your nominal shutter speed, what you can kind of go off of. And 1/50th, if we're looking at the chart here, is going to probably read with in between the 1/1000th and the 1/500th of a second, which is very fast for 1/250th. So obviously this does need some help. There is a whole litany of information regarding this on his website that I recommend you check out. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of every single detail because I don't want this video to be too long. That's kind of the general idea of how to get this to operate, how to use it very simply with a 35mm system. If you are noticing any reoccurring issues with the system, Matt is very easy to reach out to, and he could very well explain the issue you're having, and or he has already released a firmware update on the issue. That is another one of the benefits of having a system like this, is that the creator is accessible and the system is easily updatable, which is very nice. Definitely gives you a lot of value for the low cost of the unit, and it's something I really recommend you get yourself, or if you're looking into trying to repair your own cameras, this is kind of a linchpin device in my opinion. It is worth its weight in gold and then some, because it is incredibly light. So I can't imagine there would be that much gold involved. That's kind of my quick and dirty how to use this thing, how to get it set up. Again, his website has all of this information and more. So I definitely recommend you go there to check it out, because it's very accessible. So thank you very much for watching. Appreciate it as always. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to know more about Matt, check out the interview that we did together. Super nice guy, very accommodating, and I look forward to working with him again in the future. Thank you again, and I'll catch you on the next one.